history is made in Detroit. Dave Villwock has the Gold Cup and is the winningest driver in the history of the sport.
Tell them the blame is on my shoulders, not the team's. If we make the final, it's by the grace of God. If not, we're going to go to Seattle and defend our championship next weekend.
Steve David, the victory on Lake Washington in Seattle, and man, did he earn it. Versus presents the Air National Guard Unlimited Hydroplane Series. Today, it's race number 5 from the Bill Munsey Racecourse on Mission Bay in San Diego, California. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Weber. Thanks for having us in for the race. Just 2 events remain in the 2011 season, so the pressure to pick up points has intensified as the chase for the National High Points Championship race is on. But to get those points here in San Diego, you're going to have to overcome some special circumstances. Mission Bay is salt water. Turbine engines do not like salt. At the beginning of each heat, you must hold your lane through the exit of turn 1. And after that, you must have 10 boat links on a competitor instead of the usual 7 before changing lanes. And that mad scramble of fighting for lanes before the race, that's gone. Drivers now select their lanes in the order that the boats are drawn for each heat. Now, that's a change that has created quite a buzz in the pits.
I have been involved with the ping pong ball scenario, and they're doing it to save equipment, and I understand that part of the program, but I'm old school, man. I like to drive, I like to race hard, and that's how it used to be, you know.
Now they're going to where luck plays a lot bigger part than the driving skill does.
There's a lot of ambiguity in the blind draw thing in the third and final heats that you know, allow for some question marks as to what may happen during the race, which I think is important.
The slow trolling starts, I was never a big fan of it just because I don't think it's good action for the spectators.
I preferred the way that we had it. You know, we were racing, and I think this cheapens it a little bit. It makes it a whole lot more luck of the draw and a whole lot less skill.
It's a safe move, but it's not boat racing.
Now, we've already seen in 2 exciting prelims that lane 1 does not guarantee a win. Steve David started in lane 2 and ran away with heat 1A. And in 1B, Dave Villwock started in lane 5 and took the victory. So if you're going to capture the winner-take-all final later today, you're going to have to beat 2 of the best drivers in the history of the sport. For more on that, here's my partner, Mike Allen.
Thank you, Bill. The first 4 races this year have been won by Steve David and Dave Villwock. Steve David won Madison and Seattle, while Dave Villwock picked up back-to-back wins in Detroit and Tri-Cities. But this weekend, the eye could be on this boat, driven by Scott Liddycoat. The 39-year-old rookie has been running limited hydroplane racing for 19 years, but he's never set foot in an unlimited until the first race this year in Madison. And it's been pretty exciting to watch, as Scott has been both consistent and strong at each of these events. Scott finished second at the Gold Cup in only his second race ever, and he also just came off of a second-place finish from Seattle. This race course is extremely popular among the drivers, and Scott, who's never been here before, said he couldn't wait to get to this event. And in Heat 1B, he showed you just exactly how excited he was to be here this weekend.
Well, Scott Liddycoat began the weekend by qualifying 3rd at 155 miles an hour. Then in Heat 1B, he really showed he's a rookie in title only. Liddycoat drew the inside lane in the Falcon.com number 7. He battled his teammate Jeff Bernard early in the heat before pulling away and leading the first 2 laps. Dave Villwock started on the far outside in lane 5. He used the first 2 laps to catch and pass Bernard. Then on lap 3, Villwock dropped the hammer, ran the fastest lap of the heat, over 155 miles an hour. And watch what happens. On board with Liddycoat, looking to his right, and Villwock is right there. And at the checkered flag, it is Villwock in the spirit of Qatar by less than a boat length.
Nice run by Scott Liddycoat, but man, some awesome horsepower on the outside by Villwock.
So it's 400 points for Super Dave, 300 for Scott Liddycoat. A tremendous run. And remember, this guy is just a rookie.
I really hoped I could have held him off a little bit more down the back chute on that last lap, man. I would have been able to control that turn a little bit better, but yeah, he got there, and that's all I could do.
A look at the points after the first round of heats. And by the way, Dave Villwock, the fastest qualifier, picking up 100 points. His qualifying speed nearly 165 miles an hour. They run these races on the water, but many times the race is actually won on the shore by the hard-working crew members. Each one of these men and women have a specific job trying to make their boat faster and their team better week in and week out. It's a very difficult and demanding task. And for more on teamwork, let's check in with Lindsay Guthrie.
Now, from bow to stern, there is a lot of work to be done on these boats, and one of those jobs belongs to Jeff Kelly. Jeff, tell us a little bit about what you do on the Degree number 88.
Well, we have to put the engines in and the gearboxes, and everything's got to be perfectly lined up so that there's no vibration in the boat. You go out, you run the boat. If things go well and your speeds are where they want to be, you leave it. If it's not where you want it to be, then you bring it in. You might change an engine. You might change the gearbox. If there's a problem with the engine, the whole engine comes out. And then we have another 2 more in the truck if we need them.
And what is the official title? What do they officially call you around here besides the engine man?
Well, I'm Dad. I'm Jay Michael's father, and I've been working on his boat since he was 9. And they get faster and faster as time goes. And I helped build this boat just like I did his first boat when he was 9. So my official title is Dad.
It is a family effort on the 88, just like many of these teams. Dave Villwock looking for his 10th driving championship. Scott Liddicoat, the man in black, hanging loose, but getting ready to go head-to-head with Villwock in Heat 2A.
In a moment, a person's world can be turned upside down. These are the times when you can deliver one of life's most important gifts, hope. These are the times we prepare for as health professionals in the Air Guard. So explore our website or talk to a recruiter today and discover the challenge, adventure, and excitement of serving your community and country in the Air Guard.
When the world's best go racing on water, they all have one thing in common. Propellers by 5-Axis Industries. Unlimited Hydroplanes, the world's fastest race boats. Class 1, where performance and endurance are put to an incredible test. 5-Axis propellers power champions in offshore, F1, and anywhere else. High performance on water means extremely high performance. The world's best rely on propellers from 5-Axis Industries, where technology and craftsmanship come together.
Being in these canyons is like being on another planet. The original picture of Christian just doesn't do the experience justice.
Your Second Shot is a project by Canon.
I was excited about the challenge of coming out here and getting a photo that really represents what we do.
With the HS system that takes sharper images in low light.
Check it out, it's great.
We're giving people their moments back.
When it's your meal ticket, when it's your statement, protect it with Prestone. Engineering lasting relationships between cars and owners since 1927. When you own it, Prestone it.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Enjoy the hearty taste of our classic sausage and peppers pizza. Or get our Tuscan 6Gs. Your choice, just $11 for a large. Order now at papajohns.com.
2 big off-season additions bolstered the Buffalo back line. Now, they stand among the stingiest teams in hockey.
Oh, man, what a hit.
But New Jersey boasts their own high-end talent. And along with a healthy Parise,
Oh, my!
the Devils aim to give the new-look Sabres a trial by fire. Wednesday night hockey, Devils, Sabres. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Versus.
Coverage of the 2011 Air National Guard Hydroplane Series is brought to you by Air National Guard. Visit goang.com to learn more about exciting opportunities in your area. Valken Sports, get out and play paintball. Check ValkenPaintball.com for a field near you. And by Whispering Turbines, where life begins at 200 miles per hour.
Out on Mission Bay, a look at the 21 boat of Brian Perkins, qualified 4th on Friday at nearly 154 miles an hour, and a new sponsor on his boat, The 21 bunch carrying the Tap Out logo here in San Diego. Tap Out, a very special clothing line. And for more on that story, here's Lindsay with Dan Caldwell.
Well, it's a melting pot of the extremes here at the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane race. Joined by Dan with Tap Out, the president and CEO. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about this. Obviously, you're involved in a lot of extreme things in your life. What do you think about H1 Hydroplane racing?
Well, it's definitely, it's right up our alley, adrenaline sport. We started with mixed martial arts, and we've looked at other sports that have that are adrenaline driven. I saw the boat for the first time yesterday in person, and I just can't wait to see it out on the water.
All right, so you had a chance to fire one of these bad boys up. What was your reaction?
You feel the power underneath. It was insane. I can't even imagine what that type of engine, what the type of power that engine puts out. But it looked fun. It definitely looks fun and dangerous.
So is that appealing to you, the danger side?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's I got into fighting and these type of racing sports are, that's kind of why it's so exciting to watch. That they know that these racers are putting it on the line every time they get out there, and it says a lot about them, and but that's why it's an adrenaline sport.
Thank you, Lindsay and Dan. San Diego is the 8th largest city in the United States. Mission Bay Park, the largest man-made aquatic park in the country. More than 4,200 acres in the Bill Muncy course right in the middle of Mission Bay.
Bill, this is the fastest course we race on. This is let it all hang out. Salt water, more buoyant, a lot more speed. You'll definitely see over 200 miles an hour on these straightaways.
Here's the lineup for Heat 2A. It's a 2.5-mile course, and the wind can be a huge factor here.
Yeah, a little bit of a factor, Bill. The biggest one being in the back straightaway, if you will, where most of the spectators are. There's a good breeze that goes underneath that bridge, and again, it's going to try and lift that right sponson up for most of those drivers about half track.
You see our GoPro onboard cameras. There's Scott Liddicoat, a rematch of his battle with Dave Villwock here in Heat 2A. Brian Perkins has the onboard camera, and there's the degree men for J. Michael Kelly.
Little different this time, Bill. We don't have the park and start. Everybody's coming up pretty hot. 8 seconds till the start. These guys are pretty much wide open at this point.
The FormulaBoats.com has flamed out, so Mark Evans will not be in this heat. There's the gun. It is a clean start. All boats are legal.
Nice start here by J. Michael Kelly, as you can see on the inside. Look at the speed on Villwock on the outside, deck to deck.
Second straight heat that Villwock's had to start on the outside. You saw that lane 4 was open. It had to remain open by rule, even though Mark Evans was unable to take the green flag.
That's not haze we're looking at right there, Bill. That's salt water accumulating on our GoPro cameras.
Yeah, the turbines don't like salt, and camera lenses don't like salt either.
Not at all. Look at this. This is the wind we're talking about coming down that back straightaway that tries to lift up the front sponson.
Well, you can just feel the speed on that 96.
Great shot here, Bill. Watch this. You can see J. Michael Kelly going into the turn, trying to pack as much air as he can underneath the hull to get it around as quick as he can.
That's Jeff Kelly, J. Michael's dad, watching from the pits. That 88-degree men boat, very strong. Got the inside lane. That's a huge boost for Kelly and company. There's Villwock, and now look, you can see the front wing on that boat is not the normal wing. Dave had problems earlier today in a practice run.
Yeah, Bill, that's their wing from the old Elam days, which they put in there as a replacement.
He damaged the front canard, and he also tore some struts off the skid fin. That team was working very hard to get that boat ready for the heat action.
Well, that's one thing they're good at, though. The last few years, if there's a problem out of the Elstrom team, they're quick to repair.
And they got a good guy sitting in the seat, too. On board with Liddicoat.
Or there's that tunnel we're talking about, Bill. You got to make up your mind. Do you want to stay in it or get the cleaner water and go outside? But fortunately, both of these drivers giving Scott plenty of room.
Boy, you can really see the wind on the front of these boats. They're really getting light in the front end.
Yeah, it's very hard to see from where we are down on this end, but man, halfway down that chute, it's going to get a little bit choppy.
Jeff Kelly watching from the pits.
Come on, Mike. Hammer down. Put some wing in it.
That's good encouragement, but he's already working as hard as he can.
He is, Bill. He's got enough wing in it right now to put it back down in the water, but it never hurts to have somebody on shore giving you a little bit of advice.
Villwock leading the driver point standings and could clinch the championship today, but he's going to have a perfect day to do it.
You can see Dave's got the straightaway speed here, but he doesn't have the 10 boat lengths needed to come over and take that lane away from J. Michael.
So J. Michael Kelly continues to hold the inside lane, but Vilwak has the speed, and that 96 is fast no matter where you started on a race course.
Looks like Scott's trying to get some good water for the prop to bite on.
Wow. You could almost see the entire skid fin there.
Yeah, that's the section we're talking about, Bill. That's where she's going to get a little bit loose on you. Again, Scott just looking for that clean water, trying to stay out of the prop wash.
There's the Whispering Turbine Skycam looking down on Mission Bay, and Dave Vilwak takes the checkered flag.
Keep going, Mike. Hard. Go, go, go. Checkered flag. Good job.
That's the one thing you can't wait to hear, Bill. Checkered flag, whether you win or lose.
That's an important second-place finish for Kelly because he was fourth earlier. Scott Liddicoat now has a second and third-place finish, another fourth for Brian Perkins. The Peters and May team getting ready for Heat 2B, and Lindsay's in their pit.
Aaron has a very important job on his boat racing team, and oftentimes he's the last person to actually touch this boat before it hits the water. Aaron, tell us a little bit more about your responsibilities here on this boat and what that entails.
So my job basically is to run through the cockpit and make sure it's ready for J.W. Myers to go out and Miss Peters and May by redoing the air bottle, making sure it's full, checking the radio, make sure it's fully charged, and loosen all the belts so if he needs to get in the boat quick, he has time to just get in and strap himself in. And basically check the wing fluid and make sure that everything's functioning right and all that.
Do you ever have a last few words with the driver before you close up the cockpit?
Yeah, he's got his little rituals before he goes out that me and the other guy, Sam Holding, we do every time before he goes out. So,
what's the ritual? Do you want to tell us what it is?
Every time he sticks up his hands and just wants a firm handshake before he goes out. That's the main one.
Kip Brown had a second-place finish in his first heat. He climbs aboard Miss Red Dot. Whole battle J.W. Myers, Steve David and company in Heat 2B.
He's my boyfriend.
That's my dad.
My son.
He's my hero.
The Air Guard, Battlefield Airmen.
The Mountain West and the Pac-12 on Versus. Colorado State at TCU, Saturday at 3:30. Followed by Colorado at UCLA at 7:30. College football on Versus.
Are your best new customers just around the corner? Now there's a way to reach them there, online. Advertising by neighborhood with Comcast Spotlight. Target your message where your customers are, not where they're not. Advertise online with Xfinity.com and over 30 other popular websites. Get started at ComcastSpotlight.com/Xfinity.
The sun used to make our outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable we couldn't use it.
But then we discovered the Sunsetter retractable awning.
It provides instant protection from the sun's harmful rays.
It keeps our patio about 20 degrees cooler.
Now you can get your Sunsetter for as little as $499 when you call now to get this special $200 discount certificate.
Call now for your free Sunsetter DVD and $200 discount certificate.
1-800-287-3179.
Get the home phone service that revolves around you, only with Xfinity from Comcast. With Xfinity Voice, you'll enjoy the best call clarity, and you'll save with unlimited nationwide calling, so you can stay connected from coast to coast. You'll also get caller ID blocking, call waiting, and caller ID so you always know who's calling. Get Xfinity Voice today for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. It's easy to switch, and you can even keep your current number. And it's all backed by our 30-day money-back guarantee. Bring home the phone service that revolves around you. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Race of the season for the unlimited hydroplanes and the last one in the state's 47th running of Bayfair. The points earned in 3 rounds of preliminary heats determines who makes the final. 5 boats in Heat 2B. Once again, this will be a 3-lap heat with 400 points going to the heat winner. J.W. Myers has the inside lane in the Peters and May ride. Peters and May, the luxury shipping company that will take the unlimited hydroplanes to Doha, Qatar for the final race of the year. You see the rest of the lineup, and note that 3-time defending national champion Steve David is in lane 3. And here are the GoPro onboard cameras, and these give us quite a look at unlimited hydroplane racing.
Yeah, look like we've never had before, Bill. Just looking at the lineup on the draw here, I think we're going to have a good heat between Kip and Steve David here, the way they drew these heats.
And those are two drivers that have a lot of respect for each other, Kip Brown and Steve David.
They do, and there's nothing more comforting than going into a turn at 200 miles an hour knowing the guy next to you is not going to do anything funny.
You see that Greg Hopp is off the pace. Lane 4 remains open. The Peters and May countdown clock is at 0. It is a clean start. All boats are legal. As you watch from the Whispering Turbine Skycam, they head for turn 1.
First one across the line, Bill, was Jeff Bernard, but being out in lane 5, that's not going to help things out around this turn.
That makes it a long way around the course when you draw lane 5. On board with Steve David.
This is the battle we expected right here. Just as these guys come around, this is where we're going to start putting some wing into that thing and put it back down on the water.
Look at Bernard all by himself out there in lane 5.
Yeah, he's kind of hung out to dry even before we even get going here.
Kip Brown side by side with Steve David battling for the lead.
There's a good shot of JW with not a whole lot of room. Wow.
Right through the rooster tail.
I don't know, Bill. I'm assuming he had 10 boat lanes. Kind of hard to tell from that position.
He's still running. That's Kip Brown. Ahead of him, there's Steve David on the right. That's for the lead. David, the leader. Now, these wings on the front of these boats, that's what keeps them from flying. They're very crucial.
That's it, Bill. Here's a great shot here with our GoPro cam. Kip Brown holding this wing up as high as he can to put the boat down in the water before he heads to this next turn.
And he does that with footwork.
Footwork. The left foot does all the pedal action. The right foot on this race course pretty much stays down like a brick.
Now, you came up with the idea of putting that camera up by that wing, and you didn't think it was going to come back.
You know, I had my doubts because at 200 miles an hour with all that wind and water on it, we didn't know what was going to happen, but it did its job.
And we got to give a tip of the cap to H1 official Walt Ottenad. He's the one that installs these GoPro cameras, and you'll be walking through the pits, and all you'll see is a pair of legs sticking up from the cockpit. That means Walt's in there putting one of these cameras in the cockpit.
Yep,
somewhere.
saves time. We don't have to ask. We just look for the legs.
Does a fantastic job. There's Aaron watching from the Peters and May pit. See JW still under power after going through that rooster tail. There's your race leader, Steve David.
At this point, Bill, he can go wherever he wants. He can determine this race course, be it in lane 1 or 4.
You see the extended scoop on the top of these boats. That's to keep the salt as much as possible out of the turbine engine.
Yeah, we have a very different look this weekend here in San Diego. All the teams are running an extended snout, like you said, over the driver. That's to keep as much water out of the engine compartment as possible. Because every time this salt water gets into that engine, it crystallizes around the blades and makes for a bad horsepower.
And does the same thing to your camera lens, too. The salt gets on there and makes for a kind of a cloudy picture. Wow! That looks like a fun ride.
Yeah, oh, it's a fun ride, Bill. Look at that shot. You can see clean underneath the Alberto here. That's about as freed up as you want to get.
Steve David looking for another 400 points. Kip Brown continues to be impressive. Looking for his first career win in a final.
Yeah, these guys are knocking on the door, Bill. They're only about a mile and a half away from Steve David and Super Dave, but, you know, there's a lot more playing around that they can do, and I think they're going to be stronger at the end of the year.
2 heats and 2 wins for Steve David. Kip has another good day going. JW comes home 3rd. Jeff has a 3rd and 4th place finish in his 2 heats. Brian Perkins with some wounded warriors and their families, guests of the Air National Guard. Each race, the Air National Guard is happy to host a variety of guests. The Guard is a joint venture of the Army and the Air Force. Their home base is at the Pentagon, and our thanks to the 106,700 men and women that serve the Guard at home and abroad. Now time to meet this week's hometown hero. Now, this is Staff Sergeant Vance Jackson, who's been back in the country for about a year after serving overseas in the Air Force. What were your duties overseas?
Oh, actually, I worked with supply, hand in hand, and the maintenance squadron of the base. And my job was basically just to supply the aircraft and different components of the Air Force and different squadrons that needed help.
Where were you based?
I was based in Al Dhafra Air Base, and roughly where that is the United Arab Emirates, UAE.
And now you're back in this country working with the Air National Guard as a production recruiter.
Correct. I have the pleasure of working with the production recruiting and recruiting staff.
And you're a young 26-year-old gentleman, and you're looking for other guys like you, men and women like you, to sign up.
Yeah, definitely. Just like myself, just highly motivated people. People that want to, do something with their lives and, take that next step in the opportunity just to, get something extra or even have the opportunity, just like myself, to serve the country.
And we thank you for that service. Here are the point standings after 2 rounds of heats. Dave Vilwalk and Steve David each have a perfect day going. Vilwalk with the extra 100 points for being the top qualifier. It is a picture-perfect race day in sunny San Diego, and Heat 3A is next.
Get out and play. Go to VulcanPaintball.com.
Formula Powerboats, born of innovation and superb design, executed to deliver the ride, performance, and amenities you expect. Formula Sun Sports and Super Sports define day boating adventure. Formula yachts and performance cruisers, striking and luxurious. And Fast Tech Hull technology powers you to big water high performance. For a world-class boating experience, contact your Formula dealer or visit formulaboats.com today.
Capital One's new cash rewards card gives you a 50% annual bonus, so you earn 50% more cash. According to research, everybody likes more cash. Well, almost everybody. Would you like 50% more cash? No. But it's more money.
The new Capital One Cash Rewards Card. The card for people who want 50% more cash.
What's in your wallet? Whoa!
When you're responsible for this much of the team, you need a car you can count on.
Two big off-season additions bolstered the Buffalo back line. Now they stand among the stingiest teams in hockey.
Oh, man, what a hit.
But New Jersey boasts their own high-end talent. And along with a healthy Parise, the Devils aim to give the new-look Sabres a trial by fire. Wednesday night hockey, Devils, Sabres. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Versus.
The great Bill Muncy had 2 wins on Mission Bay, and Friday we had the pleasure of dining with Fran Muncy at her restaurant, The Galley at the Marina in Chula Vista. It was wonderful to see Fran, and dinner was terrific. Let's check in with Steve Montgomery.
As in any motorsport, sponsorship, a big topic here. And this sport, thankfully, doing very well. The Air National Guard on board as series sponsor. New companies coming in like Degree Men, a division of Unilever, and Vulcan.com. But it's not all big national and international companies. Rob Graham of Graham Trucking in Seattle has been sponsoring race boats of various sizes for a long time. And I know you love boat racing, Rob, but it works for you as a business, too.
It does. It's a combination of things. Our company is all business to business. We don't sell anything to the public. The public has no reason to call us. But what it does is it gives us one name recognition. People know us. People know who to call when they need the trucking. The other thing that it does for us is it gives us easier access to those companies that may be more difficult otherwise.
I know you're having fun, and I'm glad it's working for the business, too.
Yeah, we're having a blast, and you know, frankly, we do it regardless. But it's really helped us in a lot of different ways.
Thanks, guys. Strong field for Heat 3A with the starting positions selected by the drivers in the order of the draw. So Mike Kelly has the inside again, and J.W. Myers has to start on the outside in lane 5, and he really needs a high finish to qualify for the final. Steve David in lane 3, looking for his 3rd Heat win of the day. More problems for Mark Evans. Once again, his boat is flamed out before the green flag. He will not make the Heat. Got some good GoPro onboards here for you, Mike. Let's see where Walt has you riding this time.
Yeah, this should be a good one again between, I think, Steve David and Kip Brown. This ought to be a great battle.
That's Kip Brown. Drives the 17. This is the 88-degree man, J. Michael Kelly.
You know, we can't leave these guys out either, Bill, because they're on the inside, and that is the shortest way around the race course.
See the Peterson May countdown clock. And by the way, the windows in these Unlimiteds are cut from the canopy of an F-16 fighter jet.
Here comes some jerky speed on the outside. Look at this, Bill.
Start is clean. All boats are legal.
Plenty of room here. All drivers giving each other enough to get around this corner.
And this gives you an idea of how fast these boats are traveling.
This is a pretty good view right here, Bill. You can saw that wing that was just pushed down right now. Wow.
Big hop by Michael Kelly.
This is not something you want to look out of your right side and see, Bill. That's just pure speed.
That's the front wing on the 17 of Kip Brown.
Yep, there you go. Kip's about half track. Now he's got everything he's got into the wing. Keeping that thing down, keeping it smooth, keeping it smooth. Now all of a sudden, boom, he pops it up and he's going into the corner, packing as much air as he can underneath there.
Now when I see the trailing edge of that wing up, that keeps the boat down in the water.
That's correct, Bill. The more wing you use, the more you can slow this thing down, too.
Look at how tight this race is. J. Michael Kelly, then Kip Brown, and the race leader, Steve David in the Oh Boy Alberto.
You know, in talking with J. Michael, Bill, the 88 team is trying to get this boat from totally flying and blowing over backwards to being stuck on the water. It's a very fine line.
He almost did put it over on Friday. He didn't even complete a lap. Said he thought he was going over. Brought it right back. They're trying to find a way to get speed and keep it pinned to the water.
Yeah, they'll get it. This is a brand new boat. Just started this season. But you got to tweak this thing, and then probably by next year, they'll be ready to go.
Dave Villwock and his wife Pam watching from the pits, and they're watching a heck of a battle for second. J. Michael Kelly on the right, Kip Brown on the left, and they are really tight in those first two lanes.
They're very tight, Bill, but again, as the second place driver here, Kip Brown, you don't want to give the inside boat any more room than they need.
That's Kip, and you can see how close he is to lane one. Let's go on board with the 88. There you see how tight Mike Kelly is on the buoy line. He is right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he scuffed a couple of orange buoys on that one.
Steve David, about 2 rooster tails in front of those two battling for second place. And speeds here, Mike, really high. David averaging over 154 miles per hour in this heat.
And that's fast, Bill, when you look at it from an average standpoint, because being in San Diego, it's the fastest I've ever been on water. When you look up and you see that GPS hovering over 200 miles an hour, you know you're rolling along.
The drivers just love this course on Mission Bay.
There's not one that doesn't, Bill. And again, this is a football field a second here that these guys are rolling through.
So you saw J.W. Myers a little off the pace here in Heat 3A. Steve David over 155 miles per hour for his lap speed. Again, the average over 154. And how close are these two running for second? Last lap, just 0.2 of a mile an hour apart. Checkered flag in the air, looking for Steve David in the Oh Boy Alberto and his third victory of the afternoon. The side-by-side battle is for second. What a heat for these two guys.
That was a nice one there, Bill. Believe me, at that point, nobody was touching those wings.
Kip Brown edges J. Michael Kelly. So it's another win for Steve David at 400 more points. Kip Brown second, J. Michael Kelly third. J.W. Myers failed to finish, and Mark Evans did not start. It has been an exciting day of action on the Bay. Very busy day. All kinds of racing going on right alongside the Air National Guard Unlimited Hydroplane Series. Let's go down to the beach and check in with Lindsay.
From some of the largest and fastest boats on the water to some of the smallest and still pretty darn fast, what is going on here at Ski Beach?
Well, here at Bay Fair 2011, we have the PWC class. We have 3 types of watercraft. We have the runabout, which is a sit-down craft, a sport, which is a combination sit-down, stand-up, and then we have the stand-up. Speed-wise, we're doing pretty good out here. The runabouts are running about 90 miles an hour, and then my stand-up here was radared yesterday at 72.2, so it's really moving.
Tell us about the difference between the two classes, the stand-up versus the sit-down.
Well, the sit-downs, they weigh about 1,000 pounds, lots of horsepower. That's kind of a big money class. You would think that you could just jump on a sit-down and go and run around, but it's actually a lot of G-forces when you're going, 70 to 80 miles an hour around a corner. So they're big, they're heavy, they're scary. So, those guys get out there and they go really fast. And the stand-ups are more like motorcycles. They're real agile and nimble, and it takes, in my opinion, being a stand-up guy takes a little more finesse and a little more athletic ability.
Thanks, Lindsay. Now right back down to Mike.
Steve, this is like deja vu. They handed you lane 3 again, and holy cow, that thing is smoking.
It's running great, but I got to give it to Kip Brown. He's driving a heck of a weekend and forcing us to show everything we got. There's nothing left in the Oberto, but to the residents back in Madison, thanks for everything you're doing to keep this boat running in the International Guard Series, for giving us such a fantastic venue to race against some of these great drivers like Kip and Jay Michael over there in the 88.
It was, again, an incredible heat by you guys. I've never seen a boat run so clean and so fast. I'm sure you're looking forward to this final.
Oh, I am. This is going to be a heck of a battle, and it's not just going to be the 96 and the 1. I mean, Kip is running awfully strong. You got those Formula guys. You don't know what's going to happen with them. So this is anybody's race. It's all based on how those balls draw out. But I got to congratulate Kip Brown. That guy has come on super strong this year. He's an outstanding pro to run against, too. I feel very confident when he's next to me. And the same with Jay Michael. So, you know, thank God the International Guard. They're going to be the best drivers in the world to race against.
Thanks, guys. Tough afternoon for Mark Evans. He spent more time in the water than on it. Brian Perkins is getting ready to go. So is Dave Villwock, and he could clinch the driving championship today.
As a health professional, you hear it. A call to serve others in need. This is the sound of giving back. The beat of a glorious heart. The voice of honor. Duty. Heroism. Do you hear it? If you're a health professional that hears the call, make the call.
If your favorite sofa is ready for the trash, don't buy a new one with your hard-earned cash. Now, save your sofa with Furniture Fix, the quick fix for old sagging sofas. The difference will amaze you. Look, the reason couch cushions collapse is weak sagging springs. It's impossible to get up off the couch. Just slide Furniture Fix under your couch cushion to add instant support to sagging springs so you can get up easier. The durable synthetic interlocking channels adjust to build any size platform. Furniture Fix is so strong it can hold the weight of 1 cinder block, even 2 cinder blocks. Amazing! Use Furniture Fix on your favorite sagging chair. Fix Dad's favorite Sunday football seat. Fix any cushion for the ultimate support. The difference in height is day and night. Worn-out springs put pressure on lower backs, but Furniture Fix fixes all your cushions for instant support. Pull-out couches have terrible mattresses, but Furniture Fix slides under your mattress and adjusts to any length, any width. You'll feel an amazing difference. We placed Furniture Fix under this old couch. Then we invited a 400-pound sumo wrestler and a 600-pound sumo wrestler to try Furniture Fix. And look, the couch did not sag or sink with 1,000 pounds of sumo. Amazing. Now you can get a full set of Furniture Fix through this special TV offer for just $14.99. Call now and get a second set of Furniture Fix, enough for your couch or 2 chairs. It's yours as a bonus. Just pay separate processing and handling. You also get a set of 4 furniture movers absolutely free. Easily slide furniture to clean under your couch. You also get the couch pouch. Never lose your remote again. It's yours free. You get it all. 2 sets of Furniture Fix, 4 furniture movers, and the couch pouch. A $60 value. All for just $14.99. So call now. Don't forget to ask about our furniture lifter.
To order Furniture Fix for just $14.99, call 1-800-790-6509 or order online at FurnitureFix.com. This offer is not available in store.
J. Michael Kelly has made the final heat, taking some time to sign a few autographs for some of the fans here in San Diego. Let's go back down to the pits. Mike Allen is with Kip Brown.
That was a fantastic race. I mean, you guys were deck to deck. You came into this corner over here. You went into a little bit of a hole, but she came back out, and you just pulled it at the end.
Had that thing every which way but sideways. I might as well have had a toggle switch for a throttle because I never lifted, and that's what we needed to do. I mean, those guys were fast. They had an inside lane. We were deck to deck for just about 4 laps, and man, 3 laps, what a race. Man, that was fun.
It was fun for us to watch, too, and Kip Brown's going to be a guy to watch for in the final. Looking for his first career win. You heard Steve David talking about the talent that he has. Had a 2nd-place finish in Madison, a 3rd-place finish in Tri-Cities. Looking for his first win. Back down to the pits to Mike.
J. Michael, great heat battle out there. What was that like?
Oh, man, what a rush. I mean, running deck to deck like that, it's probably... I mean, it was exciting for me, but it was probably just as exciting for the fans. You know, it was good running with Kip like that, and I gave it everything it had.
And that's exactly what it takes to qualify for the final. Heat 3B, 5 boats, 3 laps. Liddicoat got the lucky draw and took lane 1. Villwock was drawn last again, but Perkins decided to take lane 5, leaving lane 4 open for Dave. Now take a look at some of the GoPro onboard cameras for Heat 3B. There's Scott Liddycoat. That's Greg Hopp. On board with Jeff Bernard. Brian Perkins, the tap-out ride for San Diego. This is going to be an exciting heat. You've got teammates in here, and of course you've got Vilwalk out there in lane 4.
Yeah, that's a nice part, Bill, about being teammates. When you're next to each other, it's a pretty big comfort level.
Peterson May countdown clock is at 5. Well, they are right on it again.
Oh, a clean start. Everybody nailed that one. That was pretty much dead even.
There's the Whispering Turbine Skycam as they head for turn 1 on the Bill Muncy course in San Diego.
Vilwalk leaving a ton of room there for these guys to come through.
Perkins started to turn in, then turned back out. I think he caught Vilwalk out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, there's a good shot looking out of the back of Jeff Bernard's boat. Jeff's going to be really doing everything he can to try and catch Scott this heat. I don't think he's got it in the boat speed today, though.
Scott Liddycoat looking to the inside. That's Vilwalk out there in lane 4.
Take it easy in this corner. You got 3 laps to do it. Take it easy.
Was the onboard communication between Dan Walters and driver Dave Vilwalk.
Bill, it's hard to understand, but Vilwalk being out in lane 4 or 5 where he is versus Scott being on the inside, that's a tremendous amount of speed to keep up with him way out there.
Championship could be decided today. Vilwalk needs 400 points and a win in the final and some other things to fall his way to clinch the driving championship here in San Diego.
Scott's doing what he can to try and catch Dave. I think he's just going to be happy with settling for second place.
Bernard is gone. Everybody's gone but the code. Everybody's gone but the code.
That's Danny Walters talking to Dave Vilwalk.
Pretty lumpy down here in all lanes, Dave. You can move over.
Steve David watching his racing rival.
Take it easy, Dave. You got him covered. You got him covered. Take it easy down here.
Yeah, you know, Bill, we've got mirrors on these things, but that's not always the answer to who's behind you, so there's a lot of help that comes from shore.
It's a second set of eyes.
Exactly. But that rooster tail comes up, you can't see a whole lot, so basically you're hearing from shore that...
Now he's charging. He's within a half a rooster tail.
Basically, you're hearing from shore that you're clear or you're not clear.
This is the battle for the lead. Vilwalk on the left of your screen, leading Scott Liddycoat. And here's the battle for third. That's on board with Brian Perkins, and that's Jeff Bernard in the 5 on his left.
Jeff should be able to hold him off, Bill. He's got the inside track, plus these guys are just a shade faster than the tap-out boat this weekend.
All these points are important trying to qualify for the final. Vilwalk is averaging over 151 miles an hour. Liddycoat just a tick slower than that. There's the battle for third. On board with Bernard. And there's Perkins. Brian started in lane 5, trying to move over a little bit, but is not going to catch that 5.
2 and 3. Got about a rooster tail on him, Dave. Got a 1 rooster tail on him.
More information coming from the shore, Bill, letting him know that there's a few rollers in this turn, letting him know how far out ahead he is.
Now, Liddycoat's in second. Is he getting similar information?
Yeah, he is, Bill. From the guys on shore, he's hearing about how far ahead he is, how many lanes he has before he can come over, and he's also being told what lap this is, because I got news for you. Get 200 miles an hour, you can't see those flags on the judges' stand.
Well, Dave Vilwalk can see the checkered flag. Another win for the Spirit of Qatar. This is the battle for third. Jeff Bernard looking back at Brian Perkins. Perkins trying to chase him down, but he is not going to get there. Man, we have seen some fantastic racing on Mission Bay this afternoon. So Dave Vilwalk pulls off the sweep. He could clinch the driving championship with a win in the final, depending on how everyone else finishes. Scott Liddycoat would like something to say about that. Jeff makes the final also. Lindsay is in the Red Dot camp.
Well, the propellers make these boats go, and who makes this boat go on the U-17 is Mike Spider Jackson. Tell us about the decisions that you make regarding the prop and how that works.
Well, basically, the props all have different pitches and rake, so it depends on the gear setup we have in the boat, depends on the propeller that we use and the water conditions. It's all about the gear ratio in the boat, and I don't make those decisions. You know, someone else tells me which prop to put on the boat, and that's about it, really.
So in between the heats of the races, you know, the boat's coming in and out of the water, what are you focused on during that time? What are you really looking for?
When the boat comes out of the water, I take the short shaft out and put it over on the trailer, and then I will inspect it for cracks. We use a film, and then we put a black light on it, and that will, if there are cracks, they'll show. I mean, they'll pretty much pop out right at you. And you know, it's something you have to do after every time, testing, heat, every time, because these propellers only have so many minutes on them before they start to get fragile.
So here are the results after the 3 rounds of preliminary heats. The top 6 drivers make the final. By the way, Dave Villwock, 152.2 miles an hour on his 3rd lap in that last heat. He's with Mike.
Once again, Dave, I'm running out of things to ask you because it doesn't matter what lane they put you in, it just seems to go right on through.
Well, the boat's fast. The Elstrom Racing is doing a good job, and you know, and that was really our goal, is to get through that 3rd set of heats. You know, qualify well, don't wreck the boat, get through 3 sections, and then whatever luck. We've had horrible luck in the draw so far. Maybe we'll get unbelievably great luck in the final. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's been a good day for Dave and for Steve David, but winning the final is no piece of cake. The driving championship is on the line in San Diego.
Play. Go to VulcanPaintball.com.
Formula Powerboats, born of innovation and superb design, executed to deliver the ride, performance, and amenities you expect. Formula Sun Sports and Super Sports define day boating adventure. Formula Yachts and Performance Cruisers, striking and luxurious. And Fast Tech Hull technology powers you to big water high performance. For a world-class boating experience, contact your Formula dealer or visit formulaboats.com today.
With over 127 years of history, there's a reason this rivalry is known simply as the Gate. Harvard at Yale, Saturday at noon. College football on Versa.
Metal detecting. It's the hobby that pays for itself. Just ask Terry Herbert. He discovered the largest Anglo-Saxon treasure ever found. More than 1,500 artifacts worth over $2 million. And he found it with his metal detector from White's Electronics. Call right now for your free catalog. Models start at under $200 and feature screens that show you what's in the ground before you dig. Call for your free catalog and start detecting today. Imagine what you'll find.
No pie today, Ted?
No, I just paid my car insurance bill. Ouch.
Sounds like somebody paid too much.
Excuse me?
I used Progressive's Name Your Price tool. They showed me a range of coverages. Then I picked the one that worked for me. I saved hundreds when switching.
Hundreds?
Who are you?
Just a man that loves savings. And pie.
Out there with a better way. Now that's Progressive.
Get the home phone service that revolves around you, only with Xfinity from Comcast. With Xfinity Voice, you'll enjoy the best call clarity, and you'll save with unlimited nationwide calling, so you can stay connected from coast to coast. You'll also get caller ID blocking, call waiting, and caller ID so you always know who's calling. Get Xfinity Voice today for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. It's easy to switch, and you can even keep your current number. And it's all backed by our 30-day money-back guarantee. Bring home the phone service that revolves around you. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
The Air National Guard Series is on Mission Bay in San Diego, California, and we're getting ready for the final heat. 7 boats, 5 laps, 400 points for the winner, and the driving championship could be decided just minutes from now. Take a look at the field for the final. The top 6 boats got in on points accumulated throughout the afternoon. J.W. Myers won a provisional race against the 21 of Brian Perkins. He will start as the trailer, the 7th boat in the race. Kip Brown got very lucky. He drew lane 1, Mike.
He did get lucky, Bill, but I think the luckiest guy here was Dave Villwock, who drew lane 2.
Hey, what are these drivers going through in the cockpits right now?
Right now, Bill, this is the most important part. They're looking down at their stopwatches. They're looking on a race course to make sure they're at the right point to make this start as fast as they possibly can.
And they've got somebody on shore watching that time as well.
They do. Somebody else help them count down. Make sure you know your watch is correct.
15, 14, 13.
See the GoPro onboard cameras, the Peters and May countdown clock.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
this is going to be close.
4,
Litico might be early.
2, 1.
Boy, this is, I don't know. Somebody might be off on that one, Bill, but look at them lined up now.
The Whispering Turbine Skycam will wait for the official call. They head for turn 1.
Hold your lane.
They'll walk in lane 2.
3 boat lengths on Kip.
Kip Brown's in lane 1. That's Scott Lidicoat.
Lidicoat's right on your hip. He's right on your hip. Hold your lane.
Look at this shot, Bill. 5 of them, 6 of them coming straight at us.
Jeff Bernard a little bit off the pace there. Bill Walk trying to break away from the pack. But Steve David is right there.
Steve David's almost on your hip, Dave. Steve David, go, 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 go. Steve David's coming hard.
David had to start in lane 5.
Surprised he's not a little bit closer there, Bill. You should keep that water just off the outside of that cowling.
Steve David's 1 rooster tail out. He can't come over yet. He's still out in lane 5.
There's your answer.
3 boat lengths on Kip.
There it is, Bill. We just heard it.
Steve David's within 1 rooster tail of you, but he's 2 lanes out.
From the Skycam.
Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention, Bill. As always, San Diego's got that sun at the end of the day, and boy, does it make it tough to come out of that turn.
Look at that camera. That's on Scott Lidicoat's boat. That's Kip Brown, started in lane 1. Bill Walk dancing across Mission Bay.
Excellent water conditions here, just a slight breeze, but for the most part, these guys are just hanging it out.
Kip Brown hugging the buoy line. And this red dot running in lane 1, there's his crew. We don't see Nate Brown, the owner and crew chief of this team. He had a business obligation, unable to make it to San Diego.
Steve David now 2 rooster tails back. You have 4 boat lengths on Kip.
Yeah, you know, Bill, if I was Kip, maybe we leave Uncle Nate home. He's running second right now.
Steve David's 4 rooster tails back. Kip's 1 rooster tail back. Leave him room.
Team radio for Dave Billwalk. That's on board the red dot for Kip Brown. That's
Steve David's 5 rooster tails back. You just have to worry about Kip now.
Man, that sun is brutal.
That looks like you're looking at a welding machine, Bill.
Dave Billwalk out front. On board with Scott Lidicoat. Started in lane 3, currently 4th on the course. Man, look at those boats down. Oh, boy. Kip Brown really getting light.
I think Kip's pretty excited to be in second, Bill, to say the least.
When the only guy in front of you is Bill Walk, that's a guy you really want to try and chase down.
That's when you know you're running. Nice job by Kip here. Kip's a smart driver, too. You're not going to see that wing fluttering all over the place. He's a good heads-up driver.
He's about 1 rooster tail back. You're pulling him. Leave him room, though, Dave. Leave him room.
That information coming from the folks on shore, Bill, very important because they're telling Dave he's got plenty of room, but stay outside. Don't give H1 a chance to make a call.
There's the 11, the Peters in May for J.W. Myers. First time they've made a final this season. So congratulations to them. Let's take you through the field here. Dave Billwalk is out front. You see his lead over the second place boat of Kip Brown.
Steve David hasn't been able to recover from that lane 5 start and is in 3rd.
Scott Lidicoat started in lane 3. He currently runs 4th.
J. Michael Kelly in 5th, not what they were looking for.
And way back is the 5 boat of Jeff Bernard, currently running in the 6th position. Not the finish he was looking for today. Up front it is Dave Billwalk. He is leading the field. He is chasing the driving championship here on Mission Bay.
You got 1 more lap after that. He's about 1 rooster tail back. Steve David's not a player right now. Steve David is not a player. You got 1 full rooster tail on Kip.
That's the voice of Danny Walters, maybe the hardest working guy in boat racing. And during the week, he works at Boeing, building airplane wings for 767s. Danny's been a part of the sport for 35 years. Started as a volunteer when he was in high school. Now he's trying to get his driver to the Drivers' Championship in 2011. Kip Brown in lane 1 is the only threat to Billwalk, and it's not much of a threat right now. Less than a lap to go.
Not much of a threat, Bill, but I think right now the only way Kip Brown can win this thing is if Dave had to pull over and ask for directions, but he's got to be happy with this finish.
Here you go. Just go easy. You know, just go now. Go, go, go. He's right there. 1 rooster tail back.
Trying to push their driver all the way to the finish, talking about Kip Brown being a rooster tail behind Dave Billwalk.
Good job, Dave. Good job.
Good job indeed. Dave Villwock wins in San Diego and captures the 2011 driving championship. Fantastic run for Kip Brown coming home second, Steve David third, fourth for Scott Liddycote, J. Michael Kelly fifth. Another impressive afternoon for Dave Villwock. What a season he has had. The Gold Cup, another win in San Diego, and now the driving championship. We'll talk to him when we come back on Versus.
This is an infomercial. We're selling freedom. We're advertising honor. The offer is for a new life. Visit us now and receive more than you ever bargained for. The Air Guard. Battlefield Airmen.
When it's your meal ticket, when it's your statement, protect it with Prestone. Engineering lasting relationships between cars and owners since 1927. When you own it, Prestone it.
Give a little cheer to a family of a soldier. Just cut out the cheer from your specially marked box of Cheerios, write your message, and we'll see that they get it.
Being in these canyons is like being on another planet. The original picture of Christian and just doesn't do the experience justice.
Your Second Shot is a project by Canon.
I was excited about the challenge of coming out here and getting a photo that really represents what we do.
With the HS system that takes sharper images in low light.
Check it out, it's great.
We're giving people their moments back.
Oh yes, this is powerful stuff. Got me circling like the moon round the sun. Hear me, this is powerful stuff. There's no way for you to give this up.
It's true. You never forget your first Subaru.
Two big off-season additions bolstered the Buffalo back line. Now they stand among the stingiest teams in hockey.
Oh, man, what a hit.
But New Jersey boasts their own high-end talent. And along with a healthy Parise,
Oh, my!
the Devils aim to give the new-look Sabres a trial by fire. Wednesday night hockey, Devils, Sabres. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Versus.
Coverage of the 2011 Air National Guard Hydroplane Series is brought to you by Air National Guard. Visit goang.com to learn more about exciting opportunities in your area. Valken Sports. Get out and play paintball. Check ValkenPaintball.com for a field near you. And by Peters & May. For professional management of your worldwide boat transport and logistics, remember Peters & May.
Dave Villwock has won the 2011 Driving High Point Championship. He clinched it here in San Diego by scoring his third perfect weekend of the season, top qualifier, winning his 3 prelims, and taking the checkered flag in the final. A 1,700-point day. Mike Allen is with the 10-time series champion.
Well, lane choice was in your favor this go-round, but it doesn't seem like you need it. I know you had the short course package put in there, but man, it's unbelievably fast.
Yeah, it ran good, and you know, it's amazing what a good job the team did all weekend. You know, we tore off the skid fin, we wrecked the canard, we wrecked a bunch of stuff before we even got into the race. But well, it's a good old boat. You know, she's kind of wore out and she's kind of bumpy, and you know, it shows her age. But like me, got a few parts missing here and there. But it's a good running boat to turn that former Miss Elam, now Spirit of Qatar, Elstrom Racing machine into the winningest boat in hydroplane history. That's a sweet victory.
25th win for that boat. Third win of the season for Villwock. His 9th on Mission Bay. His 65th all-time. But the second place guy is almost just as happy. Here's Mike.
Kip, I don't know what to say, but you got to be happy with that run.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. You know, I owe a lot of that to Dave Villwock. He took care of me the whole time. He said he'd leave me a lane, and he did it. I couldn't have done it without his help. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Qatar team. But how about these Red Dot guys, man? Oh, I'm so excited. I wish Nate was here. He wasn't here all weekend. I hate doing well without him, but I'll take it.
Nate Brown, of course, is Kip's uncle and the heart and soul of that race team. There you see the team standings. That championship not yet decided. Back down to Mike with Steve Davis.
Steve, they dealt you lane 5. That was a tough way to come around, but it was close.
It was a long way around, but we had the fastest lap of the day here at 156, faster than the 96. I think if I had one more lane, we might have gotten it, but congratulations to the 96 team and the 17. They beat us, fair and square based on lane draw. We were able to, clear the 5 and then ultimately clear the 7, and by then it was awfully tough to run down the leaders. We tried hard, just didn't have it today.
There's the driving champion for 2011, but the team championship will be on the line when we get to Doha, and you know a little something about that. You won the team championship in 2006.
We did, Bill, and I got to tell you, that's what everybody's shooting for, to come back next year with #1 on your boot.
Next week, a special inside look at the Air National Guard Series when you get to see what some of the stars of the sport do on and off the water. For Mike Allen, Lindsey Guthrie, Steve Montgomery, and all the men and women in the truck and around the course, I'm Bill Weber. Thanks for having us in for the Air National Guard Series. Dave Villwock wins the race and his 10th driving championship. See you next Sunday. So long from San Diego.